Hello and welcome to Texas Motor Speedway, home to Chris Dollerton and race number 32, chase race number 6 of the Reebok Truck Series. And before we get started, you'll notice up here at the top of the screen, there's no Bandicam.com, and that's because I have the full version now, so that means no more forced commercial breaks. Dylan Young is on the pole. Starting alongside of him will be James Henry. PJ Williams, one of the chasers, will cover them later. Starting in outside row 2, inside Michael Hegdahl. Brandon Griffiths and Ian Dutta, row 3. Jacob Sisko, Dustin Griffiths, row 4. Bob Johansson and Tom Gerard in row number 5. Now, speaking of them, here's what I'm going to say. I was able to have a chat with all the chasers. Kyle Thomas, Stacy Dutta, they said that they felt the most confident and most relaxed that they have felt because they didn't have to worry about where they finished exactly.
Drivers, start your engines!
As there was the command. Vitaly Nikolaev, Dustin Griffiths, they're feeling okay, but they weren't exactly confident about it. They feel like they have good trucks, but they know that they cannot afford to have a bad race, or at least without having someone else go and do anything, have other problems as well. James Shelley, Jacob Sisko, Cosmo Budd, and PJ Williams, those are the 4 guys closest to the bubble. PJ Williams is on the bubble. Drew Austin and Savannah Cole, I spoke to them. They feel like they might have a little bit of a hard time, but if one of those guys struggles, they feel like they have a truck enough to be able to make it into the top 8. And Kyle Austin and Ian Dutta, talking to them, they both had this common thing. They felt like they had to win, or that was going to be it here today. Let's take a short commercial break while they come through, finish these pace laps. And we are back. Pace car has just pulled off, field underneath control of the 711 Toyota. He hits the gas. We are ready to go and figure out who will make the top 8. All 42 guys started, and how about that? Daniel Day, who's won the last 2 races, crossed the line in the 42nd spot, but he is on the inside line already as they go down the back straight. I saw Kyle Thomas back there as well. How about that? Wow. Ian Dutta, PJ Williams, they started up here in the front. They both needed that. And at the line, Dylan Young will lead lap number 1. There's already 3 wide towards the back of what we can see of the lead pack. And as we start to wind down in the season, it's starting to come out on who might be driving where next season. As we focus in on Ian Dutta. Came out earlier in the week. Kyle Sosnowski was going to drive for the number 7, which not sure if it actually is going to be TRG like it is this season, but if it is, they brought on a new sponsor of Amp Energy. That was also announced. They unveiled the car and everything. William Duncan announced earlier in the week as well that he will be driving the number 30 and it'll be a second truck out of Germain Racing. He also said that he's bringing over one of his friends, but was not specific on which friend was coming over. Jacob Sisko, he announced definitely would not be that friend. He's going to focus on Slim Jim, the INORL Slim Jim series, but Jacob Sisko did lead the lap, so give him the 5 bonus points. As here comes Chris Burton up to the front. And then in a stunning surprise, Brad Keselowski Racing, which has the number 19 this season, driven by Daniel Day, announced they will be expanding to a second team and switching over to Fords, and they signed a rookie, Chris Louviere, to drive that truck, to drive the number 2, the second truck out of that stable next season. Meanwhile, James Shelley will take the race lead, but I'm not sure if he'll lead at the stripe. No, he will not. Chris Burton leads as a couple of the Billy Baloo cars coming up to the front. Trevor Meacham and Wayne James. How about that? 2 laps in, or 5 laps in, no caution flag. As they come through turn number 3, Shelley still trying to clear him. And at the line, give it to Burden once again. Man, that 09 just cannot get by the 80 yet. And now he's got him clear. Give it to the 09. The Zaxby's Ford leading and coming in 35 points behind the race leader and only 21 points ahead of 8th place in the points. You can bet he's going to want these 5 bonus points. And give it to the man. James Shelley, who was announced this week, would be a standby driver for Jerry Shelley in the Cup race at Martinsville, as Jerry tries to make the top 8 in that series. So he'll be making the trip with Tom Shelley after this one. Well, actually, and Mary, because all 3 of them are in this race. But none of them raced the Nationwide, so at least no pressure to get over to Martinsville right after this one. Wayne James now right onto the back bumper of the Zaxby's Ford. Oh. I have no clue why I hit there. Oh, I must have hit V instead of Shift V. William Duncan, Cosmo Bud coming up, and the caution flag has flown the wreck on the back straightaway. I cannot tell who. Mary Shelley's in it. Bob Johansson, Brad Johnson, Kyle Thomas, so he wasn't really worried about it though. Charles Sanford's involved. Nikolaev's back here, but doesn't look like he's got any damage. No, it does not, so looking up through, just looks like all these guys were around it maybe. I saw some damage on the 80 as the field stacks up. Could they be pitting? Oh, there's James Shelley. I don't think he's making any doubts about his plans. He is on the apron. He is going to come down and pit that Zaxby's Ford, most definitely. And like I said, it was announced, like I said in the Talladega race, it was announced that this track would be building safer barriers after this race. So that will, and luckily they have till the Chase next season to be able to get those in. Probably around the same point, actually. So, good news there for the Texas Motor Speedway Safety Group, as they will be able to improve the safety. Let's see what the strategy is for James Shelley. Fuel only, but he makes contact with the 80 on his way out. He's still going to win the race off pit road, though. Followed by the 51 of Wayne James, then Cosmo Bud, Nick Nauman, and Warren Cherry, the top 5. So the leading chaser of those still in contention will be Cosmo Bud. Let's take a look back at what happened. And we're back. Looks like this might have been where this one starts. Let's see, we have Chris Burden, Brad Johnson. Yep, Johnson's going to get into Burden. He gets into Johansson, and Johnson will turn the 18 of Mary Shelley. And great job probably by a lot of these guys not to just get into this. Dylan Young, I see, involved. Kyle Thomas gets into the back of Brad Johnson. Tom Shelley just barely gets by. Nikolaev, he's going to get by as well. Sanford, I saw hit someone, but I'm not sure who. Oh, he hits Johnson as Johnson's trying to turn it around. And Workman gets into him. So a nice, simple spin that managed to only collect a handful of cars. There's your leader. Let's bring you back for the green flag here from Texas. And we are back. No one has retired, but as you can tell, Jake Cole is 2 laps down. He is on pit road getting service on that truck. James Shelley is your leader. Then it's Wayne James, Cosmo Bud, Nick Nauman, and Warren Cherry is your top 5. Then Cody James, John McNamara, Dave Cole, Trevor Meacham, and Dylan Young the top 10, with Alex Tanker, Drew Austin, Chris Washer, Brandon Griffiths, Tom Gerard, William Duncan, Chris Burden, Angel Navarro, Tom Shelley, and Jacob Sisko, the top 20. And of course, that whole win and the advance thing will continue. So if Ian Dudder or Kyle Austin, who are the biggest long shots to make the top 8, do win this race, it's going to push that bump spot over the PJ Williams machine, and then Cosmo Bud is your bubble guy. The green flag is back out. James Shelley leads us down. And wow, look at Jake Cole, who apparently got off pit road. He's got a full head of steam. And he's only one lap down. And now back on the lead lap. Wayne James into the race lead now. Okay, I have no clue what's going on about Jake Cole now being one lap down rather than 2 laps down. But he is on the tail in the lead lap as they're 3 wide for the race lead. Nick Nauman's going to grab the spot. He's not in contention for the chase, however, though, so if he wins, it's like no big deal. As coming up on halfway home already, John McNamara inside for second. Trevor Meacham inside James Shelley. And Nileman's going to put Jake Cole back 1 lap down. As, oh boy. Here comes John McNamara inside for the race lead. At the line, though, Nileman will lead the lap. Then and then it's Meacham behind him. That outside line, though, look at the run it got. Drew Austin decides, hey, I want to go up there. As Meacham goes inside for second now. They're 3 by 3 now back at this point in the field. And now they're going to try and get single file, I guess, and maybe try and chase down the 41. Eli Meacham's just going to break away from him and get the draft off the 41. Shelley into third. If he can keep it up there, he should have no problem advancing to the next round, or advancing to the top 8. And here comes Meacham. As here we go, James Shelley into second. And he's saying, I want the lead as they come down the back straightaway. Just over halfway home. The halfway point was lap 17. And at the line, I think Shelley led the lap. I was going to say, how did he only lead it by like 800ths over the 80, I mean. Where's the 15 on scoring? Oh, Ian Dutta not helping his cause. He's back here. You have Kyle Thomas, Vitaly Nikolaev. Johnson doesn't matter. PJ Williams is back here. Kyle Austin not helping his case either. Savannah Cole's back here. Elijah Workman, he's not too much of a big deal. Cosmo Budd up at the midway point of the field. Same for Drew Austin. And then up at the front, Stacy Dutta. Look at the damage on the 97. How is she running up here? Just outside the top 10, Dustin Griffiths, Jacob Sisko. James Shelley now loses the lead to Chris Burton. And here comes Chris Washer. The battle of the Chris's up front. Seriously, how's the 97 running in the top 10? Wow, this is supposed to be one of the aerodynamic tracks. And look, maybe that's why. Maybe that spoiler being bent like that is helping that 97. As here comes Jacob Sisko, he's trying to say, hey Chris, if you don't make a move, I will. They're almost 4 wide for the race lead. They're not going to be, but it's 3 wide for the race lead as Jacob Sisko takes the lead, but Dustin Griffiths says, I want it more. And here comes James Shelley up to the front as well. They brake check though in turn number 4. At the line, Dustin Griffiths will get 5 bonus points for leading a lap. And James Shelley comes across in second. Seth Cole up here in the top 10 now, as well as Henry Nova just on the outskirts of it, as chasers run in the top 3 spots right now, and 4 out of the top 6. Almost 4 out of the top 5, as James Shelley now goes for the race lead, trying to make sure to put absolutely no doubt in it, as there are 10 laps to go here from Texas. Here comes Cisco to the inside. 3 wide for the race lead. That outside line might be where you want to be coming off turn number 4 on that final lap. James trying to learn, I guess, use lessons from Jerry Shelley. Jerry, remember, has a win at Texas. Is season 1 for Coke Vanilla Cup Series, though. Here comes Angel Navarro to the front. He peeks to the inside, and he will try and take the top spot. I don't know if Jacob Cisco has led a lap, but if he hasn't, he still won't. Because at the line, Angel Navarro, the Pizza Hut Toyota, leads. Seth Cole now will be in 3rd. Tom Gerard, wow, a rare appearance from the 32 up here. Tom only has 1 top 5 for the entire season so far. Of course, that is better than Wayne James, who only has the 1 top 5 and 1 top 10. But Wayne hasn't been running the entire season either. So right now your top running chaser is the 88 of Jacob Cisco. But that's about ready to change to the 78 of Dustin Griffiths, as they are side by side. Cosmo Budd up here in the front, doing what he needs to do to advance. As here we go. Tom Gerard will take the 2nd spot. Dustin Griffiths will focus on the top running chaser, but never mind, we'll focus on this 3 wide battle between chasers. As you have Jacob Cisco, Bob Johansson, and it was Elijah Workman as well. There's James Shelley. He's in the middle now of 3 wide, as we'll go back up to the front here with Dustin Griffiths. As when they get to the stripe, there will be 5 laps to go from Texas. Can Jake Cole play a factor in this one? Remember, he is a lap down in the 42nd spot. He moves inside of Angel Navarro. Not that's going to mean anything, because I'm pretty sure if a caution comes out, he's not going to have time enough to make up any spots. But at least for him, he can know that he finished the race on the lead lap, maybe. But here comes Griffiths. Griffiths is going to be glad that the 7 held him on the outside line, because here comes the 78 Furniture Row Chevrolet. And give him the top spot. Cosmo Budd wanting 2nd a little bit here. And here comes Kyle Austin. We haven't seen him up front all race. He's choosing to come up here at the right time, as there will be 3 to go at the stripe. Kyle Austin needs to get up here to the race lead if he's going to make it into the top 8. Angel Navarro leads at the line. 3 laps to go to decide the top 8. Dustin Griffiths with a 1 car length advantage over Cosmo Budd as they come down the back straightaway. Here we go. The final 2 laps, and good thing I bought the full version, because we will not have to take a commercial break here. As Dylan Young now goes inside for 2nd. Kyle Austin into the top 5. He's doing all he can to try and make it. As I'm going to have to look and see who's calling. We'll have to be right back. And we are back. It has come down to this, the final lap. Dustin Griffiths is leading. And it doesn't look like there's going to be any competition, as he almost gets into the 7. And coming off of turn number 4, Dustin Griffiths is going to punch a ticket into the Elite 8. He wins at Texas. Drew Austin finishing in the back. Angel Navarro is on pit road. So that's where he will finish this race. Jake Cole will come down and finish in the 36th position. As the race still not official. Now it is. 36 trucks finish on the lead lap. Seth Cole, James Shelley down here in 38th. Drew Austin will finish in the 42nd position. James Shelley has damage on his truck. What on earth happened to the 09? There was a wreck on the final lap. Here they are. Oh no, it's after the race. Okay, so this was already after the race. Apparently what happened were there's people that pitted or made pit stops. Seth Cole was one of them. And he's going to come up off the track, merge with guys who are slowing down to try and come to pit road. And he and Dave Cole are going to make damage. Savannah Cole gets into this, as well as Brandon Griffiths. James Shelley collided with someone. William Duncan and Dion Scott also making contact. So, wow. Interesting development on that. And it appears as though if this race had been another like 5 laps, everyone would had to make a second pit stop. But congrats to this man. Dustin Griffiths punches his ticket to the top 8. Dylan Young finishes 2nd. Charles Sean for 3rd. Kyle Austin finishes 4th. I'm not sure if that will be good enough to make the top 8. Cosmo Bud should be able to make it easily. Chris Burton, Ian Dutta, I'm not sure. Tom Gerard, John McNamara, Chris Washer, Bob, that was your top 10. Other chases in contention, Vitaly Nikolaev in 13th, PJ Williams in 14th, who entered this race on the bubble. Now, the good news is, for those that were close to him, he beat them. Stacy Dutta in 17th, that should be well enough to make it in. Jacob Sisko in 18th. There was, looking through, Savannah Cole in 30th. Kyle Thomas 31st. Again, I think that will be plenty enough for Kyle to make the top 8. And of course, James Shelley and Drew Austin finishing a lap down. Drew Austin, I am positive, eliminated from chase contention here because he finished 42nd and he entered the race 9th in the points. I'm going to export this right now. And with that, this race is in the books. Congrats to Dustin Griffiths. I'm Gordon Fan 291. This has been a production of the INORL Racing Uncontained. We'll see you guys next time. Let's head down to the victory celebration and we'll roll out the points and, well, not the points, but we'll roll out the photo showing your top 8 here in this chase for the Reebok Truck Series Championship. And here comes Dustin Griffiths, and I bet this will be a special one because he knows he's in the next round with this win. Let's see what he does. Plus, it's the first win that he's gotten without having a pit road thing happen with it. I mean, the last time he won at Darlington, and it was a controversial win to say the least because of, well, actually, never mind. It's his 3rd win of the year. I just realized this. Never mind. So his 2nd win that was non-controversial. I have to look at where the 2nd one was because I forget. Whoops. So Dustin Griffith's 3rd win of the season, and a big one at that. I mean, obviously, would have liked to have used it if he was maybe in the bottom 4. But, hey, I'm sure he'll take the win nonetheless. And with that, let's roll out the picture to show you who is in the top 8. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for the Hooters Nationwide race from Martinsville. And then the Cup race the day after that.